Hi, my name is Kazim Quadri, as you all know by now, and welcome to my rant. Today I'm gonna do a final session concerning my white paper for the last 2 3 weeks and concerning cryptocurrency. So, this whole session is based on feedback I got from the previous one. Not all feedbacks, because I'm still trying to find out some certain things because some of my listeners have been asking to make the podcast longer. So I'm considering that. And so people want to listen to it shorter. So there's this debate in my head. So but you can all decide, just send me a DM or something. So let me know if you want it longer or shorter. But I'll definitely see to that. But from now on, I'll try to make it 2 parts at the same time. So you can choose to listen to the first part and move to the second part, or just do both at the same time. It depends on how you want it. So first of all, the topic we're discussing is cryptocurrency. But I want to focus more on the good part of cryptocurrency and why it's what it is today in the first place. So we all know by now what currencies are. So a means of exchange. Basically, that's what I see it as illegal means of exchange. So if I need something from you and I have a cloth and you need that clothes, but I need a shoe from you, so I give you my clothes and get the shoe. So the clothes technically is the currency in this transaction, but you still call that trade by barter. But that's the whole should I say sense of how currencies were birthed. So but the reason why we moved to papers or whatever we have now is the fact that not everybody might want a cloth around me at the moment, but everybody around me might want a shoe. But I don't have a shoe because I have a cloth. So how do I ensure that my clothes is still valuable and my clothes shoe is still valuable? So from there we got currencies that are legal standards of you making transactions. So in previous episodes I discussed on how cryptocurrencies came to be and why they are essential in our lives today. But I want to really bring in what are the real benefits of cryptocurrency. So I broke them down into 5 ways. So the first one, the stock market. You might be like, stock market, cryptocurrency, they are kind of similar. I would explain what I mean. Second, daily returns. Third, digital art. Fourth, freedom in some sense. I would explain what I mean. And the fifth one, economy for smaller nations. Just economy, because if you say smaller nations, bigger nations still benefit from this. So I see smaller nations benefiting more from this than the bigger nation. But although right now the bigger banks and companies are actually benefiting more from cryptocurrencies than the smaller ones are doing. So but you get my point. The main benefit still falls down to the smaller nations, and I'll explain why. So as we move on, please bear with me. So now, first of all, I said stock market. So you might be like, okay, stock market. The stock market is basically a market where people buy stocks of companies, maybe even people somehow. But like stocks. So what are stocks? Stocks are, should I say, a percentage of a company. So you buy and you pay for the stock based on what you think its value is. So if I see a company like an Apple, I don't even know what's the exact value of a stock of Apple is. I don't want to say percentage, because if you say percentage, you are not trying to tell me that people are buying 100% of Apple. You can't. So, but the thing is, there's a certain percent of Apple that is converted to stocks that people can buy on the stock market. So I think it's about $1,000 to one stock, and maybe they have like 800 million stocks. So if you do the math, you understand how much Apple would be worth times 5. There's a way they do the mathematics of how companies are valued, but it's true stock market. So the same thing similarly applies to cryptocurrency, but in a very different way. So how does that benefit me? Now there's something called airdrops. Airdrops are, if you understand the stock market, they are like IPOs. So how they work is, so a new cryptocurrency wants to get into the market, but they need popularity. That's one beautiful thing about cryptocurrency is it needs popularity. For every cryptocurrency out there you know of came to your attention by its own popularity. So how that popularity is being driven is that originally from the airdrop. So airdrop is like an IPO. So you have so let's say I want to release Cars Coin, right? And I need people to buy Cars Coin, but how do I make people know about Cars Coin in the first place? So I created something called an airdrop. So an airdrop is more like you have stuff you want people to do, and at the end of them doing those things, you pay them by your coin. Interesting, right? So Cars Coin doesn't really have any value. So how do you even put money into an economy? It's the same thing. So you want people to do something, and how you want to pay them? You want to pay them maybe by the in Nigeria, you need to pay them by naira. If you are in America, you pay them American dollars. And at some situations, even in Nigeria, if there are some people that work in Nigeria and they earn dollars, you understand? And that's how dollar would have more value in the economy, because more people are earning by that, you understand? Or more people are spending based on that level. So it's the same thing, similar. So you want people to have more Cars Coin in flow. So I have to make people do some work, give them Cars Coin, and the work they are doing is actually publicity. So you might tell them to share things on their social media page, tell them to retweet things, take screenshots, send to you to validate. After some time, you pay them some amount of coin. Then after there are different processes. So there might be after the IPO, which is the airdrop first part. Then they might be going to the market. You understand? So you don't generally go to the market at once. So you might probably have to create your own wallet, then enlist on some exchange platforms. So the major ones we have are Behance, PancakeSwap, and the rest. I can't remember the rest for now. But all these are like the major platforms you have to enlist on. So it's just like how you have the New York Stock Exchange, you have the UK, London Stock Exchange, I think. So you have the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Like, so it's something similar like that. You can actually pick one to enlist on. You can actually enlist on all. That's the interesting part. So but you need people to be able to trade Cars Coin for another coin, which gives it value. So if you remember, if you haven't listened to the first two episodes, please, I would advise you to listen to them so you understand what I'm talking about properly. So you understand that money itself needs to be backed by, so every currency in the world needs to be backed by a certain amount of dollar. You understand? So it's the same thing. So your coin's value still needs to be on some level backed by the dollar, one way or the other, and that's how you value it. So how much dollar to your coin, or how much coin to your dollar. So let's just say a Cars Coin is valued by $1 because the amount of money that was poured to buy Cars Coin, and let's just say there are 100 Cars Coin in circulation, we had to use $100 to buy 100 Cars Coin, which equivalent gives it $1 to one Cars Coin. Understand? So Bitcoin is probably $55,000 right now, and that means, and they are like, I think I can't remember the amount of supply of Bitcoin we currently have, but if you do the math, you understand the equivalence, right? So that's another way. Now, interesting part of airdrops is in fact, every legal airdrop is free. Free in the sense that you don't have to actually pay something to actually get the coin in the first place. All you just have to do is to do the certain tax that are given. They're always called tax. Probably share something on your status and stuff like that, and they pay you with their own coin. Then when the coin is become official that has been enlisted, you can now trade that coin to probably another coin or sell it, then get your money out of it. That's what most people do. I have friends who put me through this. Like I mentioned earlier, the first episode, the same friend that introduced me to all this glory, she was the one that actually made me understand this part very well. So we have another part, daily returns, something called faucet. Now, for every coin you have, for every stock you have to get some sort of should I say dividend at the end of each quarter or something. But something similar like that happens in cryptocurrency. So faucet, they're like you view ads and they pay you in cryptocurrency, right? So it's I don't think there's any there's no platform that really does that in mainstream technology right now. So in the sense that when people view ads, you want people to view ads on your platform, and the equivalent you pay them is cryptocurrency. Okay, so something similar like that is in games. So I play this game called Dream League, and whenever I view ads, I get some certain coin that I can spend in the game. And those coins can help me maybe buy players and stuff. You understand? So it's same thing similar in this sense. So you just view some ads, and at the end of a certain period of time, they pay you in cryptocurrency. So there are different types of faucet, and there are different ways. Some of them are legal. Not legal. Oh, they are all legal. But some of them are scams, and that's one interesting thing about the crypto world. There's a lot of scam out there, much more than the old true things, or should I say real things per se. So you have to actually be careful. And as the stock market works, you also need a guide through these things. You can't just listen to my podcast and immediately say you're a crypto guru. You understand? So you have to actually put this into context, and also ensure that you have someone that puts you through it. How the stock market works, you also need a guide. I call them sensei. So you need a sensei to actually put you through these ropes of cryptocurrency, so you don't get scammed, because people get scammed constantly. That's one truth. So basically, those are two benefits of cryptocurrency. Why, you might be wondering, how is this really benefit? Because, for example, imagine if you got into the airdrop of Bitcoin and you got like 10 BTC, as at the time when Bitcoin was 0.0000001 you understand, and you kept it, right? And 10 years later, if you do $11 times 55, so that's roughly $555,000. Or if I'm wrong, I most likely, I'm sure I'm wrong on that math. But if I'm right, that's a lot of money for just sharing things on your social media platform. Now, that's another interesting thing. Some of these things are just bet. It's the same thing as stock market. You might choose that a stock goes high and the market goes to a bear market. You understand? So you might choose that a stock will go low and the market goes to a bull market. These things are technically gambles. You understand? And as they say, the bigger the risks, the bigger the rewards. You understand? Well, you have to understand that the bigger the risk, the bigger the loss, right? So if you want to do anything relating to cryptocurrency, I would always advise you take a strong and a very learned person to actually push you through the ropes, because it's not as easy as it sounds most of the time. That's one thing you should understand. Then that's understanding why those two are actually benefits. And I'll take a break here. So in the next part, I would explain the other parts of the benefits I was talking about. Thank you very much. Yeah, welcome back. So in the past section of this episode, I was talking about two major ways you can actually benefit from cryptocurrency. So I'll be talking about the main three here, and you must have heard this quote constantly. You say everything and anything is online, and interestingly, this is very true, because in the past year, COVID-19 made it that very true. How? Because you technically went on wedding ceremonies, naming ceremonies, had chats with your friends, everything. You did all this online for a whole year, majorly for a whole year, right? And this changed the understanding of people about things. One of this understanding is digital art, because why is it that you can make purchase online and enjoy the art online, but why can't you just how would I put this? You can make purchase for things online, right? And you can buy it, and you have to get it physically before you enjoy art. Why? Because you should be able to enjoy art digitally, because art too should be able to work digitally, like how you can paint a picture with probably paint. Not saying I've seen something that was painted with paint and I still can't believe it's you did, but you can make art. Our graphic designers make art constantly, and their works aren't as appreciated as when a Picasso gets his paint and pours color in his canvas. You understand? I'm not saying Picasso isn't good or our artist. That's not what I'm saying. That's not the point I'm driving here. What I'm trying to drive out is that digital art would be mainstream, or it's mainstream because of something called NFT, non-fungible tokens. So what are these? There are technically a means of identification of ownership, right? So you can get how do I explain this? Okay, you can get a picture online, right? And you already know that that picture has 1,000 copies online, and no one even knows who created the picture in the first place, right? Nobody can tell who owns the picture and who created it. It's possible because you can actually wipe out all these details from every picture that you can download online, right? But how do you now preserve digital art in this form? So that's where NFT comes in. So NFT is more like a means of identification of ownership of these things. So you get you buy an art online, and there's a way you can actually tell if the art is yours using these NFTs, which is still built on the blockchain technology. You must be wondering, why did I bring this into cryptocurrency? Because cryptocurrency has and blockchain that almost pari passu. You understand? They almost work together, although they are two different things. But in the effort of creating one, we found ourselves creating the other. Just as how yeah, just that's it. Let me not dive too much into a different topic, but that's how it works. So we have to understand that, okay, we have cryptocurrencies, and blockchain would always exist on a different level, on the same levels most times. Although blockchain has many other applications, and one of the applications of blockchain itself is NFTs. You understand? And you can still buy. So cryptocurrencies themselves have NFT platforms. So Ethereum has its own NFT platform. I think Binance, that's BNB, has its own. I can't remember, but there's so many NFTs out there. And recently, someone an online artist sold an art for, I think, $54 million, and the art is a digital art. I think that's what brought attention to NFT recent times. It has actually existed for a while, but that's what really gave the attention to NFTs. So that's another benefit. So if you're like an artist that paints with Photoshop, right, you can easily sell your art with NFTs, and you don't have to have a physical exhibition. You can actually do a virtual exhibition, you understand, and have people see the art, and they can actually make or the auctions for the art. Sorry. So another benefit. So my fourth benefit of cryptocurrencies are freedom. Is freedom. Sorry. How? You might be like, freedom. I feel this has I've actually discussed this even from the beginning, because the whole essence of creating cryptocurrency is for a way whereby people can actually make transactions in places where money is, should I say, controlled, right? So you can't just lay your hands on some, should I say, dollar in some certain countries because maybe a government says no one should, or no one should even own money, because there are like crazy governments out there. You have to read about some countries. I don't want to mention any on my podcast, but you understand what I mean. So these things, or you are in a country whereby it's so remote that you can't even lay hands on money, but all you can just do is to get your phone and a little bit of internet and just make a transaction, right? Send money from somewhere. So you convert, like we do this in Nigeria until our CBN started banning this thing. So I saw a solution, like a startup, some guys from OAU. I was reading a story 2 days ago. They created a platform whereby you can actually convert your naira to cryptocurrency and send abroad and receive, probably if they want to pay you in dollars, so they convert it to cryptocurrency and send it to you here. I can't really remember the name of the company, but if I do, I'll definitely share it on my social media platforms. So that's how the beauty of cryptocurrency, what it solves. That's what I mean by freedom. Because if I can easily do this, I shouldn't. Because in a country like Nigeria, one of the things we suffer from is the regulations we have. So government ensures that your major way of making transactions outside of Nigeria is through using stuff like Western Union. So, but in the rise of applications like Bata and the company I talked about, it solves this problem. Although Bata solves this problem, but won't do it as efficient as cryptocurrency. Why? Because cryptocurrency, anyone, you can sell to anyone and receive from anyone. You understand? But that still has some limitations, and you get. I think they're working on some of those, but it won't solve it as much as how cryptocurrency would. You understand? although there are some very bad parts of this freedom that cryptocurrency gives us, so I can buy things online that or sorry, you can use it for something like a ransom, right? So you kidnap someone and your means of ransom is through Bitcoin, which means that money can't be traced. That's a very bad thing because that's one of the major ways you can actually catch a kidnapper through the money. How did you spend the money? So that's if even the money is digitally wired to you, right? So I think I've heard of cases where cryptocurrency and there's something called ransomware, where hackers take control of your system and ask you to pay a certain amount, and maybe the only way you can pay that amount is through Bitcoin. So there's no way you can actually even track the hacker again. So that's another thing. But these are one of the things cryptocurrency solves and also creates. That I feel for every problem you solve, you create another problem or two more, something like a hydra. Now economy of smaller nations. That's my final benefit. How economy of smaller nations? I corrected myself to say economies generally because now let's just say let's put if should I say a fictive country called Kazim, right? Kazim Nation. So Kazim Nation, we have our currency called Kaz coin, right? Should I say Kaz Naira? Because I'm going to be talking about the coin now. So and people in Kaz Naira have limited supply of their currency, which would probably increase the value or decrease the value. But don't make transactions outside of the country, and it's going to affect them. How? Because their currency maybe doesn't even have enough value for them to buy the things they want to buy outside of their currency, their country. Sorry, and the best way to do that in situations like that is to actually find a way to convert your money to the money that has value, then use that money to buy whatever you want. So in cases like that, you might have to convert to dollar, right? And dollar itself, most people can purchase dollar at the normal rate, so you have to buy on the black market, which in itself again has an effect on you because your money is devalued twice, not just once. Now, how does that cryptocurrency solve that kind of issue? Something similar to what I was talking about before, freedom. You can convert your money easily from that your Kaz Naira to probably Bitcoin or Kaz coin or something, and from there you move to buy whatever you want to buy and convert it probably to dollars. So it will still have a standard. It will still follow the standard rate, which is the normal dollar rate, than your currency would directly go to that. So I think that's basically what it is in that sense. And also one thing I've actually enjoyed is Bitcoin has actually solved a lot of problems. Or I don't really limit it to Bitcoin because Bitcoin is a bigger game now, but cryptocurrency has solved a lot of problems I've seen around. So people have a means of income constantly just by some cryptocurrency erupting from the ground and moving high and going low. How the same way the rich guys in Wall Street make their money. So a small guy in his room that just invests probably $50 and 2 days later is making $300 by just betting on a coin actually appreciating. Same thing as stock market, let's not forget. So that's how it basically works, and it solves. I know people that are actually living on their earnings from cryptocurrency right now. So I feel that's even a bigger benefit for cryptocurrency to me than even any other thing, because if it employs people without having an employer, that's very interesting, you understand? So it has more benefits than I can even list out, though I can even figure out right now. Because some of these things it was just brought to my knowledge after the recording I did, and some people said, "Oh, Kazim, you just talked about only the side effects. You never really mentioned about the good things of cryptocurrency." So I decided, yeah, that's true. Do a little bit of research, and I came up with some of this. So if you think there are other benefits, please mail them to me, quadrikazim01@gmail.com, or you can check out my website, kaz.com.ng. And if you're other major social media platform, I'm Kazim Quadri01. Please don't ask me about why I have 01 everywhere. But basically, yeah. So just message me. I'll definitely want your response and your feedback from all this. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.